Yo, what up? It's Air Moses. And I'm laughing because I take the stupidest thumbnail pictures, but hey, that's okay. Now, we live in the age of technology where in some instances it's a blessing, some instances it's a curse. But you still, at the end of the day, you have to learn how to talk to women. Now, the age of technology, social media, you can use this to be different. You know how? Because most people slide in the DM, but you actually walking up to somebody and starting a conversation like a normal human being can be used to your advantage. Now, yesterday, LaCourtney Maddox, aka how I know her, L Danielle or Daniel, I don't even know how to say. I can't remember, but she asked me, "Why are men so female oriented these days? Why are they so thirsty? Why are they so focused on women?" Because women are, it's harder to access them because there's thousands of dudes a year sliding in their DM when there's only 100 dudes actually walking up to them. And especially, for the younger ladies. So if you're teenage years and early 20s, definitely good for you. This video. You have to learn how to do this, bro. And the only way to learn that is to learn yourself, tribulation, see what works. You have to learn the reality that you gotta have the sauce, you gotta have the confidence to be able to read body language. You have to have, what is this? I miss living by myself. You have to have the confidence, you have to have the drip or the swag, as we used to say back in the 90s. You gotta have the jewels, you gotta have the tools, you gotta read books, you gotta be socially aware and socially intelligent, learn how to maneuver. That's my new word. I don't like to use the word manipulate because it has a negative connotation. But you have to be able to maneuver. Now, look, I'm gonna give you one example. You have to learn how to raise the energy to the point where you could say damn near whatever. That's what magic is. That's the three principles of magic, man. You have to raise the energy, you gotta program the energy, you gotta direct the energy. That's the same shit you do with a female, bro. You gotta raise the energy, you gotta program the energy, you gotta direct the energy. You gotta raise the sexual tension, you gotta program the sexual tension, you gotta direct the sexual tension, you gotta raise the interest, but at the end of the day, you have to understand that if you don't raise and direct, if you don't raise and program the direction, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes she might give you the direction. But at the end of the day, that's what they call choosing signals, my nigga. If there's certain if there's certain elements that aren't a part of what your ritual, raise the energy, program the energy, direct the energy, don't sweat it. If there's not certain tools in the ritual, it's just not gonna work, my dude. That's a fact. Me, I'm not the most attractive man in the world every day, but at the end of the day, I can say things without actually piquing a woman's interest that somebody that is not this stunning can say. I've said things that if you are fat, ugly, and short, unattractive personality wise, you're not funny. If you're just those combination of things, my condolences. But I've said things to females. If you said it, you would be in jail, right, for life. Okay? I said the most outrageous things that I could think of, and I have the advantage of being, you know, and I have the space, I have the energy to be able to test certain things because I'm just naturally charming, I'm smooth. I know the seductive eyes and the tone, all that. I know how to do all that goofy ass. It's just natural for me. But you can't just take anybody's advice. You got to know yourself. You have to be honest with yourself and where you stand. Okay, this is not for women. All women are beautiful. You're all tens. That's a fact. All women are 10. That's a fact, right? Valuable, all kind of shit. But at the end of the day, you can't take you can't take concrete subjective advice. If you're like, what do I say? Introduce yourself, give a charming, witty compliment, follow it up with something funny. That's normal. But I can't tell you, well, if you want her, ignore her, talk to the friend, get the friend to like you, then talk to her, then do all that weird, bro. Just read the situation, know yourself, open, control, close, raise the energy, program the energy, direct the energy. Simple. But at the end of the day, you can't take everything so literally. You cannot use what's your favorite pickup line. This is not the 70s, nigga. You can do the social media thing all you want, but you're gonna miss out on a lot of, number one, fun, and number two, experience. Now, the benefit of social media, you could be a stalker, you could be a detective, you could be a spy. I don't encourage that all the time. Some instances, yeah. If you're traveling, if you travel a lot for work, you can find out who she is, her likes, dislikes, what conversations to avoid. You can find out a lot just doing good detective work. You can add a lot of her friends and then talk to her and do all kind of tricky marketing weird stuff. But at the end of the day, eventually, you're gonna have to talk to this woman. If you want what you want, you're gonna have to strategize. You're gonna have to be a hunter. Because women like hunters. That's true. That's a fact. You're going to have to know what you need to know to get what you want to get. Now, Aaron Moses, oh, I used to have the coldest 3-piece chicken nugget meal. But at the end of the day, I was being very immoral and I was doing too much and I was lying and I was being very misleading. Was it effective? It was too effective to the point where I became a very dangerous person because I was a savage maker, okay? And I'm kind of still a savage maker because I'm just that guy. I'm just that nigga. That's a fact. But I would tell females I love them. I would quote scriptures out the Bible if I knew they were a Christian. I was just a very dangerous, just a savage maker, man. I just made women want to hurt me, just do dangerous things that they never thought they would do, which it's pretty similar now because that really doesn't go away. But I can control myself and I'm not so thirsty. I was telling women that I loved them when I didn't even really remember their last name or first name like that. I would be memorizing, I would just write down stuff about them so I could bring it up to make it seem like I actually cared about them and I was listening. Just very immoral, just slime ball shit. Facts. That's a fact. As anybody except for nah. I wanted it to be genuine with my girl. There's certain things I do or have done that's consistent, but I was just extreme. And females that have some intelligence about them in a certain type of way, they knew I wasn't being genuine. And they didn't give it to me because they saw you're willing to say anything for a grimy ass nigga. But at the end of the day, I would say things like, when I first met you, usually when I meet a woman, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think about what I can get in the beginning, but with you, baby, I thought about where we can end up. I could see you as, as a good mother, as a good friend, a good partner. I could see me doing this for you. I could see me, I bet you could get me to stop smoking cigarettes, changing my ways, getting a good job, baby, baby. And they would be like, it's not funny because it worked a lot. But, and then I would just do what, just being grimy. So you don't want to do that because love, the word love, just the word love, turns women into a different creature. Telling an ugly woman that they are beautiful and that they that's just, And again, you need to just know where you stand. It's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with being ugly. You don't have any choice. It's not your choice, right? Just like it's not my choice to look a certain way. It's not something. I mean, it's something that I'm proud of, but it's still an emotional. I don't work to look like this. Besides, like the maintenance, but even if I didn't take it, groom this, you would still be able to see that I'm a fairly attractive young man. It's not something that I just walk around and say all day. It's for all intents and purposes to make this video a little bit more interesting and relatable to the other godlike looking beings out there. And the ugly people. If you're ugly, you're ugly, so what? There's a lot of benefits to being ugly. Probably. But at the end of the day, you can't just say anything if you look a certain way. And you cannot just say anything or not take care of yourself just because you're attractive. I used to think that. Let me tell you this. I was in the I was a hustler when I back then, right? When I was a teenager through 24, 25. So I didn't interact with women. Why? Because women don't like to spend money. Typically, more men spend money on the services and products that I was providing. Let's just say that. So because I didn't want to be finessed, because I didn't want to be distracted, and because I didn't want to be, I didn't want to trade, my products for favors. I just stayed away from females for a very long time. So when I finally tried to balance everything out, I was no bueno. I was not successful because I had never had a girlfriend. I never dated. I was a virgin for a very long time. But at the end of the day, it's like riding a bike, man. Like riding a bike. I read some stuff, hung out with some people, and I caught on fairly quick, man. I jumped in that water and built a boat. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you want to stay off social media, bro, because that's not the real world. It's not the real world. It's real in the respect that it affects people's real worlds, but that's not the real world. It's social media is like emotions. It's a part of life now, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have, they're not always necessary. So emotions are for you to protect yourself. That's what they're for. They're to let you know what feels good, what doesn't feel good, what's dangerous, and what's safe. Social media is kind of not like that, but your emotions don't shape the world. Your actions do. What you say does. What you do does. Your Facebook or your Instagram, unless it's your actual career and it's not just a hobby and not just a way to meet weird people that hopefully won't be, you know what I'm saying? It's that's not real, bro. It's not real. It's as real as you make it. Let's just say that. Just like your emotions. Social media is like your emotions because it's as real as you make it. And if you don't want it to be real, guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna disappear. So get outside, develop those social skills, learn body language. Learn body language, learn how to maneuver. You know what I'm saying? Maneuver. Learn how to finesse, learn how to maneuver, learn how to get what you want with your mouth. There's a lot of guys out there that are crying about women not doing this and women not doing that. How do you know? Because you don't talk to women in real life. So you don't really know what's really going on. You can't tell me what women are doing and how they changed because you don't interact with women. You interact with a keyboard, sir. So get out there, give it your best shot. Don't be creepy. If you want to be a little creepy and see if it works for you, that might be your thing, you know? But that's all I gotta say, man. That's animals on the bang, you the bang with the bang, take that man life in the breath, breathe.